Top 5 Horror Novels of the Last Decade. Number 1. The Sundown Motel, 2020. In 1982, Viv decides to get a new job to help finance her upcoming move to New York City, where she seeks a new beginning away from her crappy little hometown of Fell, in upstate New York. She begins working the night shift as the clerk of the local Sundown Motel, and while she is excited about being able to pay for her move, Viv quickly realizes that something in this place doesn't quite make sense. 35 years later, in 2017, a young woman named Carly Kirk moves to Fell and becomes the night clerk of the roadside motel as well, determined to solve the mysterious disappearance of her Aunt Viv. Back in '82. This insanely intelligent and creepy psychological thriller was written by Simone St. James, author of the award-winning bestseller The Broken Girls. A highly compelling ride with amazing characters, The Sundown Motel is a masterclass of mystery that benefits from the format of dual timelines, with one set in 1982 and the other in 2017. St. James brings us a brilliant mix between murder mystery and supernatural horror, all wrapped up in a book that will leave you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Number 2. Penpal, 2012. Inspired by the famous Reddit creepypasta, Penpal is a quite complicated novel to describe. In essence, it is the story of an unnamed narrator who is trying to piece together a series of strange and terrifying events from his childhood that never made sense to him. The more he dives into it, the more he realizes that all of these experiences are connected by something. Something that may have been following him since he was born. Something that may have shaped every single aspect of life as he knows it. The least we can say about Penpal is that it is incredibly unique. Author Dathan Auerbach doesn't pull any punches with this novel. And he takes the broad idea of a mystery in such a dark and disturbing direction that it will often make you question the very nature of the story. The book is short, but entirely worth it, and it will stay with you long after you read it. Number 3. The Twisted Ones, 2019. After the passing of her grandmother, Mouse is asked by her father to clear out her isolated home and take care of her dog for the time being. Always willing to help, Mouse accepts. While the task reveals itself to be challenging at first, it turns out her grandma was a hoarder. Things truly take a dark turn when she finds her step-grandfather's secret journal, which seems to detail the antics and whereabouts of a mysterious colony of terrifying beings located in the woods around the house. As she investigates to figure out what exactly the journal is about, Mouse begins to uncover the petrifying secrets of her grandmother's house. Written by T. Kingfisher, also known as Ursula Vernon, The Twisted Ones is a creepy and anxiety-inducing book with an amazing protagonist and narrator at the center. Despite the horrifying events taking place throughout the story, the book is also full of Vernon's signature sense of humor, which offers a great sense of balance that is necessary for the realism of the narrative. The Twisted Ones is a must-read. Don't miss it. Number 4. Beneath, 2017. Cora, a talented no-nonsense reporter with a sensitive past, is sent to rural Georgia to cover a disturbing story about an Appalachian cult of snake handlers. There, she meets Father Michael, the charismatic priest at the head of the town's church, who seems to be hiding something behind his likable smile. Realizing that something is seriously wrong with this town, Cora decides to set aside her past trauma, determined to uncover the church's secrets and take down the cult at all costs. Beneath is definitely one of those books that isn't what it seems at first glance. The unpredictable nature of the story is definitely a signature of its author, Christie D. Meester, who is originally known for her incredible short horror stories that flip themselves upside down with mind-bending twists. This debut novel is as dark and distressing as one could expect, if not more, and the brutal shift in the story will make you unable to put it down. Number 5. Summer, Fireworks and My Corpse, 2010. Summer, Fireworks and My Corpse, released in September 2010, is a compilation of 3 separate horror stories, including a 200-page short novel, written by legendary Japanese author Otsuichi. The first story, after which the book is titled, is about the murder of a 9-year-old girl named Satsuki, and the subsequent cover-up of her murder by the boy and the girl she trusted and believed to be her friends. In Atsuka's signature creepiness, the story is narrated by the deceased Satsuki, after her death. The second story, titled Yuko, is a masterpiece of unpredictable storytelling about a housekeeper who grows suspicious of her new employer. A kind but strange old man who forbids her from going in a specific room of the house, claiming that his sick wife is resting in it. The more time passes, the more she begins to question if this wife actually exists. The third, and longest, story, titled Black Fairy Tale, is a particularly somber and unsettling mystery about a teenage girl who loses an eye in an accident and receives a transplant to have it replaced. Immediately after, she starts to see strange things that obviously aren't really there, and she realizes that she can somehow experience the memories of her new eye's original, and very dead, owner. Her terrifying visions quickly begin to consume her life, especially when they put her on the trail of a missing young girl.